In April, residents of a small town in Georgia were stunned by a series of strange events unfolding near the edge of the forest. What they saw shocked them deeply. They had never encountered a lion in such a bizarre situation. But how did it get there? Lions are typically found in open plains and savannas, far from this region. Experts believe the lion likely became stranded after being swept away by a powerful river current or lost track of its pride while hunting. Eventually, it attempted to return to familiar territory, but the overwhelming terrain made it impossible. This young predator was about to embark on an unexpected journey that would change everything. After days, possibly weeks, the lion arrived at the outskirts of the town, an area completely different from its homeland. Driven by sheer survival instinct, the lion kept moving. By the time it reached the banks of the nearby river, it had traveled approximately 435 miles from its original territory. Weak from hunger, the lion tried to hunt, but found nothing. The landscape was unfamiliar, prey was scarce, and vegetation was minimal. Despite hearing sounds of life from the town, the lion hesitated to go near. Typically, lions avoid humans at all costs. But this one was exhausted and starving. With nothing left to lose, it approached. Nearby, it noticed a large building and instinctively moved toward it. It didn't know that the structure was the Georgia Wildlife Rescue Unit. Completely worn out, the lion collapsed near the station's entrance. Its posture conveyed helplessness and quiet despair, as if pleading for help. Officers inside noticed the creature and quickly sounded the alarm. 2 additional responders from the wildlife response team were dispatched to assess the scene. The lion, a striking young male with a golden mane and sharp claws, was an imposing sight. The responders approached slowly, careful not to provoke it. Upon closer inspection, they discovered a serious injury. Its front paw was badly wounded and tucked under its body. The animal lay still, unable to move. Realizing the lion was in distress, they contacted the U.S. Department of Wildlife Management. Officials were amazed and responded urgently. The wound was treated and the lion was allowed to rest. Soon, the entire town grew fond of the animal, naming him Zion. Residents brought food and water daily. Though he ate only small portions, Zion seemed to recognize their kindness. Yet his eyes always drifted toward the horizon. He longed for home. As word of Zion spread, neighboring communities visited the town just to catch a glimpse of him. Wildlife experts stressed the urgency. Zion would not survive long in this alien environment. He needed to return to his natural habitat. But how? Dr. Richard Monroe, director of the Wildlife Emergency Division, explained that such rare incidents had occurred before. Lions can become stranded due to weather, flooding, or overstepping their range. Without intervention, they often starve. Zion's future looked bleak, but the people refused to let that happen. The governor of Georgia, Linda Hartley, reached out to Michael Burns, director of the Federal Disaster Response Agency. Together, they orchestrated a rescue mission. A helicopter was secured, and Ranger Ethan and his crew built a custom steel transport crate. 8 days after Zion arrived, the plan was set into motion. The lion was sedated, placed into the crate, and gently loaded onto the chopper. The town gathered to witness the event, cheering as their beloved lion was prepared for his journey. But during the flight, the unexpected happened. A sudden noise came from the cage. Zion had woken up. Panic swept through the aircraft. The team worried that he might thrash or attempt to escape mid-air, causing a dangerous situation. To everyone's surprise, Zion remained calm. Though clearly alert, he didn't act aggressively. He simply looked around with curiosity. Government officials later described his behavior as a sign of remarkable resilience. Finally, the helicopter reached the designated wildlife reserve in Arizona. The team opened the crate. Zion stepped out slowly, scanning the landscape. Then, recognizing his surroundings, he sprinted into the savanna. The moment was emotional and victorious. Zion was home. Months later, tragedy struck the town. A severe drought caused widespread panic. A herd of elk, maddened by thirst, stormed the town in search of water, trampling crops, damaging homes, and endangering lives. Suddenly, a massive figure emerged from the trees. It was Zion. Now fully grown and majestic, he roared and charged at the herd. His fierce presence stunned the animals, driving them away and leading them to a nearby water source. The townspeople watched in awe. The lion they once rescued had come back to rescue them. Afterward, Zion lingered at the forest's edge for a while, watching the town. Then, with one last look, he disappeared into the wilderness. Zion's story became legend, a reminder that kindness can forge bonds between humans and even the wildest of creatures.